Hey squad, welcome back to another video. So this is a video that I have never done before. For those who've been following me since day one, I have been in the fitness space for about 8 years, and I've also been posting on social media for about that long as well. So you've seen my progress from the beginning, you have seen my growth. So a few days ago, I had recently come across some of my earlier videos that I have posted, and I wanted to react to some of my early training videos. Now this video is not me clowning myself, making fun of myself, because 8 years ago, I am not the person that I am today. My training, my technique, my form, my progression, my style of training is completely different and has obviously improved. But if I had the Sandra 8 years ago in front of me as my client, what training advice would I give her? So I'm gonna watch some of the videos back and see, starting with a glute and hamstring workout video that I had posted August 2018. Let's watch and then I will assess. I was so skinny. Look at my legs. I think at this point I was already training for at least 6 months. Or almost a year even. Ooh. What is that? Okay, so that was a cute little glute and hamstring workout. Now, first things first, there was no warm-up. I kind of just went straight into the workout, and I know that this video I posted was just for content, but I never really did any warm-ups before my workout. So looking at this, I would start with 5 to 6 mobility routines before jumping into the workout. That is what I would coach myself now to do. Like if I had myself 8 years ago in front of me as a client, that is what I would tell Sandra. Start with some mobility routines, work on your flexibility, work on, obviously focusing on warming up your body before you jump into your workout, just for risk reduction, injury reduction specifically. Now jumping into the exercises and my technique. These were all really great exercises, by the way. I would give this routine a solid 9/10. So I started with Bulgarian split squats, which the only thing that I would correct here is my stance. Okay, so you can see that my legs are way too far apart, and this is supposed to be a glute focused exercise. So in order for you to do a glute biased split squat, you have to bring your legs in a little bit closer. My legs were way too far apart. Like I said, in order for the split squat to actually be glute biased, I would say bring my legs a bit closer, tuck my chin in, and then drive the weight through my heels, right? So this is automatically going to force my glutes to do more of the work. So it's going to activate my glutes a lot more. So that is probably the only thing that I would change. In terms of everything else, with my chest upright, it was perfect. And yeah, so that will automatically just work more of my glutes, my quads, while also of course hitting the hamstrings. So the next exercise that I did in this workout was a good morning. So a good morning is a compound posterior chain exercise that targets your glutes, your hamstrings, your core, as well as your lower back. With the form of a good morning, it's exactly like the name, as if you're bowing forward to say good morning to someone. So that's why the exercise is called a good morning. So my form here was actually pretty good. The only thing that I would tell myself to do is, instead of looking straight forward, I would tell myself to tuck my chin and look down. Now, it's very important to have my spine in neutral alignment. And when you're looking forward or you're looking up, that hyperextends your neck, which puts a lot of pressure on the neck. So it's always important to make sure that your spine is in neutral alignment and make sure that your back is straight. And also tucking the chin in will encourage proper posture. Another thing that I would have done differently here is to push my hips back out a little bit more. The next exercise that I did was a lying hamstring curl, and this was pretty good. Obviously now I would use a heavier dumbbell, you know, just to have a little bit more resistance. In the video I used 5 kg and I felt like that was too light for the hamstrings. I would have probably used a heavier weight for that, but in terms of the form and everything, that was pretty good. Now the last exercise was so funny because I don't know what that exercise is. I don't know where that exercise came from. That was clearly me trying to do some sort of a complex exercise, so where you're combining 2 different exercises in one. But that sumo, whatever it was, that sumo stance was a bit funny, was a bit funky. My legs were way too far apart. So right there, I believe that I had actually made up my own exercise, because that just was not it, girl. So as my own coach, I would tell Sandra to just do a sumo squat. That bend over was completely unnecessary. No need to complicate the workouts. Do one exercise instead of trying to combine 2 exercises and make that into one. And also my stance was way too out of the way. It looked very, very funny to me. That bend over just was not a proper exercise. The next video is an upper body workout that I shared also in 2018. Let's have a look and then I will assess. My arms look like spaghetti. Look at those legs, girl. So the exercises are a solid 8/10. I did some really great upper body workouts. So I started with a chest fly and my form was atrocious to say the least. A lot of things were wrong here, and if I were my coach back then, I would tell myself to extend my arms just above my chest a little bit more. So lowering the dumbbells too far, overstretching can put a lot of unnecessary pressure on your shoulders, which can lead to injury, especially if you're using heavy dumbbells. So the next exercise that I had done was a dumbbell chest press. So here, looking at my form, my arms were just falling too far below. So I would tell Sandra, the client, to start off with the dumbbells positioned at chest level, have my elbows bent at about a 45-degree angle and not a 90-degree angle, just to protect my shoulders a little bit more. And then I would press the dumbbells upward. So I would be pressing the dumbbells upward in a straight line and then lowering it back down, slow and controlled, and stopping about right here. Okay, so this is like a 45-degree angle instead of dropping my elbows all the way down past the bench almost. And then of course I would extend my arms without locking out my elbows. So you will notice that I used to do a lot of this, so just locking those joints, which I would not do today. And the next exercise that I did was a chest pullover with a dumbbell, and this one was a little bit hilarious to me because, again, looking at the video right now, my form and my technique was not great, but that's okay. I was still a beginner. So the first thing that I noticed here was how my back was arched a little bit too much. A slight natural arc, it's perfect, but when you overextend your back, you put a lot of unnecessary pressure in your back. Also, you can see how the dumbbell kind of goes over to my chest instead of me stopping over my head. So the right form with a dumbbell overhead, I would tell myself, is to slowly lower the dumbbell back, you know, and just stop over your head right here and then repeat that movement, as opposed to bringing the dumbbell all the way down to your chest almost, and then taking it back. So that would be my form tip to myself if I were my own coach back then. The next exercise that I had done was a tricep dip. So far, so good. This exercise actually looks pretty okay. The only thing that I would change was, of course, my elbows, locking my joints. Like I said, I was overextending my arms. I was locking them out all the way. I would tell myself to keep a slight bend in my elbows and to also control my movement. I felt like I was using a little bit too much momentum, so to speak, but overall, it was a decently performed tricep dip. And the final exercise that I did was a dumbbell overhead tricep extension. Again, the only correction I would give myself here is locking out my joints, overextending those joints. So always I would tell myself to keep a slight bend in my elbows when I am reaching up, and then slowly lowering down, performing that movement with a lot of control. And yeah, I used to really struggle with that, but now I'm so much better. But in terms of like the exercises, it was a solid upper body workout. I still do a lot of these exercises today, so that's that with that. So just by watching a lot of these videos back, a lot of the workouts that I used to do have not really changed. What has changed and has improved has been my form, my technique, how I control my movements, not using too much momentum. And that is just like the main thing that has actually changed. A lot of these exercises, I still do them till today. And that goes to show you that it really doesn't matter how much time has passed. What matters is you maintaining those staple exercises in your workout, having your key compound exercises and your key isolation exercises. Those are really the most important things, because that is what you can really truly see progress from. So I'm not looking at those videos and like cringing. And even though I said that my form was atrocious, which it was, but I'm not cringing. I'm not embarrassed that I've posted those videos 6-7 years ago. I'm looking at it like, wow, I'm glad I posted those videos, because the way that I train now is so different. And that just goes to show you, if you are a beginner, if you are somebody who is just starting out your fitness journey, all it takes is practice. All it takes is time. And all it takes is just you learning along the way, like I did. So when I'm looking at those videos, I'm comparing it to how I train now. For example, the way that I do my Bulgarian split squats now, it is so different from how I was performing a split squat 7 years ago in 2018. And I can look at that growth and that progression and be proud of myself that, listen, I've been on this journey for such a long time. I've grown and I've learned so much. I've improved so much. And there's absolutely no need to put pressure on yourself if you're at the very beginning of your fitness journey. There is no pressure to be perfect, because 6 years down the line, you are going to be so much better than you were 6 years ago. And that is exactly what a fitness journey is. On a journey, you learn, you unlearn, and you grow. You learn along the way, you change your mistakes, you correct mistakes, and sometimes you make plenty more mistakes. I'm sure 8 years from now, whatever year that's gonna be, I'm going to look back at some of my training videos, and there will be a lot of knowledge that I would have gained 8 years from now that I don't have currently. And I will be able to sit down and look at my current training videos and say, oh, I've improved on this, or I've improved on that. And that's exactly how you should look at it. And that was what this video was for. And that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.